Imagine living in a country where fear is the only currency, where silence is survival, and where the lives of thousands, including innocent Christians, were extinguished in an instant. Welcome to the nightmare that was Ethiopia under Mengistu Haile Mariam, a leader whose brutality became a symbol of the darkest side of political terror. What drove him to orchestrate a campaign that would scar generations? The story is both tragic and terrifying. Mengistu Haile Mariam was born in 1937 in the small town of Waldia, Ethiopia, a country struggling with its identity and challenges even before his birth. The son of a farmer, his humble origins were worlds apart from the destiny that awaited him. Raised in a time of political instability, young Mengistu would grow up watching the cracks form in his country's foundations. His youth was marked by a deep, unwavering desire to escape poverty and create change. A bright student, Mengistu attended the prestigious Haile Selassie I University, where he began to shift his focus toward military studies and Marxist ideologies. In the 1960s, Mengistu married and had children, keeping his personal life away from the spotlight. Despite his quiet domestic life, his political ambitions were taking shape. His growing disillusionment with Ethiopia's monarchy and social conditions would soon drive him into the political scene. By the early 1970s, Mengistu was a rising star in Ethiopia's military. His loyalty to the emperor was unwavering, or so it seemed. But behind closed doors, the seeds of rebellion were being planted. The military, fed up with the emperor's ineffectiveness, staged a coup. Mengistu, now a trusted lieutenant, quickly aligned himself with revolutionary leaders. In 1974, Emperor Haile Selassie was overthrown in a brutal coup. But what followed was far more violent. The revolution turned into chaos. Mengistu, once a soldier with the emperor, now stood on the opposite side of history, ready to wield power. Little did the country know this was just the beginning of his iron grip on Ethiopia. By 1977, Mengistu had taken control of the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, backed by the Soviet Union. But with power came the responsibility of securing it, no matter the cost. With the rise of Mengistu's power came the Red Terror, a campaign of political purges designed to eliminate anyone who dared oppose his regime. Thousands were rounded up. Suspected political opponents, dissidents, and even religious figures. Among them, Christians, many of whom were accused of conspiring against the state. Christians, often blamed for their opposition to the regime, were among the hardest hit. Churches were not safe. Many were looted, burned, or used as places of execution. The Red Terror would claim the lives of an estimated 30,000 Ethiopians, with many of them being Christians who had once been seen as pillars of the community. Mengistu's grip on power tightened as his supporters rallied behind him. Meanwhile, the public suffered in silence, too afraid to speak out, as the Red Terror continued its merciless march through the nation. By the late 1980s, Mengistu's once unshakable power began to crumble. The Ethiopian economy faltered, and the public grew increasingly weary of the regime. Armed resistance groups, both within and outside the country, began pushing back against the government. A storm was brewing. By 1991, after 14 years of terror, Mengistu's rule came to an abrupt end. Amid growing civil war and foreign intervention, he fled the country to Zimbabwe, where he lived in exile. Though Mengistu's reign ended, The scars of the Red Terror still haunt Ethiopia, and while he lives in exile, the memories of his brutal regime continue to shape the country's present. Mengistu Haile Mariam's legacy is one of fear, suffering, and countless lives lost. His name may not be as widely known as some of history's most infamous leaders, but his impact on Ethiopia and on the lives of countless Christians cannot be forgotten. The Red Terror remains one of the darkest chapters in modern history,